Welcome back. Reese's Senior Bowl week kicks off in just a few days. It's a full week of events leading up to the big game on Saturday, February 5th. Senior Bowl Executive Director Jim Nagy joins us now to talk some football. Jim, good to see you as always.
Good to see you, Joe.
All right, thanks so much for being here. So first, Jim, this interview to promote the game week and talk about football was scheduled well in advance, as we always do. In the last week, though, there's been a lot of conversation regarding the involvement of the Azalea Trailmaids at this year's festivities. So as mentioned, this was previously scheduled, so we don't plan to focus on that, nor do we have all sides here to properly address it. But before we move on, we did want to ask you about the decision making regarding the Trailmaids and some of the changes that have taken place in just the last few days here.
Yeah, first of all, we're excited that the girls are going to be a big part of it. I would like to clear up a couple things. The Trailmaids were invited prior to all this happening this week. So were the Dogwood Maids over in Daphne. So this wasn't reactionary. They were invited. We wanted them a part of the week. When it comes to the on-field stuff and pregame, that changed a couple years ago. So just like any business, we're trying to get better in what we do. So after my first year on the job, we reached out to former players and the guys that coach the game. How can we change your experience? One of the things was the pregame individual intros. Those things lasted over a half hour, and that was a big thing the Trailmaids were a part of. So between that, we cut that out. Now we just introduce the players. They run out American and National. We play the game, right? Like football's a little bit of a different sport. You got to get your mind right before you take the field. So that was important to me, that the player experience is paramount. Player experience and fan experience. And then we have the venue change, and it's much tighter. So it would really be a safety concern to have anyone on the field during the game. But we will have them on the field pregame, and I think during a break during the action too as well. So no, we're just excited to have them part of the week, and that was always the plan. Sure.
At this point, then, do you consider the issue settled, or do you anticipate any more changes in the coming days here?
No, I certainly think it's settled. I think the Trailmaids are happy. We've had a lot of conversations with them. I think their leadership is happy. We're happy. We're just excited to kick off the week.
All right. Well, this year's game features the American team, which is led by the Detroit Lions staff, and the national team led by the New York Jets staff. And just yesterday, some big announcements regarding the coaches for these teams.
Yeah, we're going to shuffle the deck. That's a new change that the NFL wanted to implement, and I think it's a great idea. So Dan Campbell from the Lions and Robert Saleh from the Jets will be here in like advisory roles. And just today we pushed out, they've promoted a couple guys. Deuce Staley from the Lions, great former running back. You probably remember him for the Eagles.
Helped out several fantasy football squads back in the day.
And then Ron Middleton for the Jets, their tight ends coach, is going to be elevated. So yeah, some cool changes.
All right. So the Senior Bowl slogan has been "The draft starts in Mobile," and that has been truly the case. So many talented players have gone on to the NFL, and there's a ton of talent to watch in this year's game as well.
Yeah, I think it starts with the quarterback position. You know, the quarterbacks always kind of drive the draft bus as we go through the spring, and to have 5 of the top 6 guys in this year's game, and all 5 of those guys are carrying first-round grades in the NFL right now. Not to say they'll all end up there, but I think 4 or 5 of these guys could end up in the first round. And then top to bottom, talk about talent. Look at the guys coming from Mobile. You know, Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama, and Roger McCreary from Auburn, Neil Farrell from LSU, Velus Jones from Tennessee. 4 local guys in the game in 1 year. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is a game that's watched by the entire football world and community, but to have such a local presence in our local game too is really cool. So things really get going tomorrow with the addition of the HBCU Combine and the events. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's something that's been in the works for a couple of years now. This is the first official NFL event that we've brought to Mobile, NFL sanctioned event, so we're kind of co-hosting that event. So that's going to be great. The workouts are going to be in the morning. Those players show up today. And then what we're really excited about is the HBCU Village that's going to be on the south side of Hancock-Whitney Stadium. Tons of schools are coming down to engage with our local high school kids. So if you have a son or daughter at home that wants to engage with a school, we have fraternities, sororities. There's going to be a job fair with a lot of our business leaders in the area, Coca-Cola, Airbus, Alabama Power, to name a few, and a bunch of the local bands. It's going to be fun. There's going to be entertainment, food, tailgating. So I would encourage anyone in the community to come out to Hancock-Whitney tomorrow between 9 and 4 o'clock.
All right, it's going to be packed out for sure. Well, you just talked about encouraging the community. If any of our viewers out there want to know about all the events leading up to the big game, what's going on, where can they go and watch, all that kind of stuff, where can they find all that information?
SeniorBowl.com, real easy. Game tickets are there, less than 5,000 left, so we're getting close to that sellout we've wanted. And then also for the Senior Bowl Summit on Tuesday night with Kirk Herbstreit and Nick Saban and Brian Harsin, those are available as well.
Great lineup there for that summit. Less than a week until the game. If you don't have your tickets, act now, don't wait, so you can go check out this year's Senior Bowl. Jim, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Looking forward to the game.